right, Mo, you have a podcast, and you might have severed some friendships because of a recent topic.
Yes. My podcast is called In the Moment. We release episodes daily, and you can get it where you get your podcast. And you never know what topics are going to come to the table that are going to cause some diversion between the people I have on the podcast. And in this particular episode, I had Katie and Romeo on the podcast for the week. And I said something that I thought everybody was going to agree with me. I thought it was going to be unanimous, hands down. And then I started to realize that I might have broke up the band a little bit when the heat came into the studio, when everyone started to react on social media. And it was over, of all things, it's over voice notes, because I absolutely hate voice notes.
And explain for those that don't know what voice notes are.
So for those that don't know,
say that if you say voice notes 3 times real fast, your tongue's gonna fall out.
So instead of people sending you a traditional text message where you can read it, they send you these voice notes.
I hate them too.
Okay, yes, I knew it wasn't just me. I cannot stand that. I don't get the point of it. It takes up too much of your time to have to sit there and listen to voice notes. And I get so many people on a daily basis that get upset with me because they'll send me like a 2-minute voice note, and I don't have time to listen to that.
I like the voice to text. Like if you're talking to your phone to text it, that's fine. I have somebody that sends me voice notes, and you listen to it once, and then it's gone. And then my brain, because I have the baby brain because I got a 9.5-month-old. I have no recollection of what I listened to.
Right,
so now I have absolutely no idea what you sent me, and it was just a waste of everybody's time.
So it's full, like, plans, like it's details, like they're like paragraphs and stuff, because my friends only use voice notes for like comedy, like you have to put emphasis on a word, so they'll be like, I'll see you at 7, and then there's a voice note that says bitch, we say like the B word in a certain way, so like we just send back each other going bitch, and it's like it cracks me up. So it's just for hilarity, it's not for like actual details.
No, this is like a voicemail but through text.
Yes.
So like somebody sat there and straight up sent me an entire message, and then it cut them off, and they had to send a second one below it.
Right.
And it was, probably after everything was said and done, a solid 3 minutes of a like, to me, it's voicemail via text. Cassie?
I have a family member who's notorious for this. She'll send like 4 or 5 back to back, and I want to be like, what was cool was the original voice notes was a phone call.
Exactly.
If you can't take the time to shorten, I get it. Sometimes like shortening like intense conversations or big thoughts is hard over text. Then call me or FaceTime. No, don't FaceTime me. Call me.
See, like that I understand a little bit, because sometimes if you're having like a heated discussion or something like that, the text messages, you can't really read someone's tone, so maybe you want them to hear your voice to make it a little easier. But outside of that, if we're just having like regular everyday conversations, hey, how you doing? Do you need something today? Whatever the case, like I just don't get why that would ever be more convenient than simply just sending a text message.
All right, so what happened during the podcast with you, Katie, and Romeo that got so heated?
Katie absolutely loves voice notes. Like, it's literally her thing. She sends her friends voice notes every single day. They have like weekly voice notes that she sends to them. I think it's disgusting. I don't understand why she does this. Romeo hates voice notes like I do, so it just became like Katie was trying to defend voice notes and like tell us all the reasons that it's kind of like a younger generation thing, and trying to convince me as to why it's necessary. And that's what the heated debate was about.
All right, so I hate them. You hate them. You said Romeo hates them.
Yep.
Cassie, you hate them.
Yes.
And Davi, you don't use them or haven't really been.
I like them.
Okay.
But we're not using it for like meet me at this address at 7:30. Like it's not like detailed stuff or like here's how my day went. Like boring. Like it's funny. Like there's always somebody making a funny noise or saying a word funny or something. Like it's always funny. So I like them.
All right. So we outrule everybody else, so you can't use them anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
they gotta go. And how often do you look at a text and get back to it later? Like that's the convenience of text messaging.
Yes.
With voice notes, you can't do that because they disappear, like you said.
So that's what happened. I was in the middle of doing something, and I saw, like, the way it pops up, and because you can see, God, I don't know how to describe it, but it's basically like when you see the ultrasound and the WAV file.
Yep.
Like, you can see the WAV file. And I'm like, what? And so I listened to it, but I was in the middle of doing something, so I was listening, but I wasn't really listening. And then I went back to listen to it again, and it's not there. And I'm like, that's why pointless. I'm like, I've retained nothing, and now I don't know what's going on.
Complete waste of time.
It fuels the immaturity in me. Like there was something Cassie and I used to do on the podcast where we try to make our sound waves look like a penis. So like you'd be like, oh, up. You know, and you'd try to make it actually look like one, and that's what we do back and forth. So it's completely stupid. I agree they're dumb, but like we use them for a dumb reason, and it's really funny to me.
Now,
But maybe I'm 4 years old.
No, if I would have been on the receiving end of that, I would have been happy.
That changes the game.
The Bert Show.